Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the Kell Dragons. So, bringing up Wikipedia here and starting off where we normally do. Um, Kell Dragons, also known as Kell Drakes, were quadrupedal predators, sometimes utilized in disposing of captives by crime lords and dark Jedi. So, biology and appearance here, the Kell Dragons are hardy creatures related to the much larger crate dragons indigenous to Tatooine, and, like their larger cousins, were most comfortable in deserts. The squat, scaly reptilians walked on four three-clawed legs, their roughly triangular heads held piercing yellow eyes and jaws that were filled with sharp teeth that jutted out where their mouths were or when their mouths were closed. Three rows of spikes ran down the breast beast's back to the end of their tails. The skin of the Dragons were extremely tough and highly resistant to most conventional weapons. Lightsabers, however, were extremely effective against them and could kill a Dragon rather quickly with a few hits. Now, their behavior wise, Dragons generally attempted to neutralize their targets by biting with their toothy jaws. They could jump toward or forward in order to deliver bites in particularly elusive prey. Now, um, a quote from Kyle Catran: "I'm normally an optimistic guy, but how do you fight a Kell Dragon with your bare hands?" All right. Now, history wise, during the Galactic War, Dreadmaster Sterk had a pet Kell Dragon on the planet of Derivius. It was killed during the ensuing battle, but when the Dreadmaster revived it and bolstered his strength against his attackers, but it was once again killed along with his master. A number of Kell Dragons lived on Rusan. While rare, they were the planet's most dangerous predator and were found commonly near the fabled Valley of the Jedi. There they posed a threat to both archaeologists and those attempting to make a pilgrimage to the valley. No one knew if they were indigenous to the world or had been introduced by the Sith. Jabba the Hutt kept several as pets aboard the Star Jewel and would feed prisoners to the Kell Dragons for entertainment. Sounds like a Jabba thing to do. All right, in 33 BBY, Jabba used the Star Jewel to hijack the prison barge Purge so he could attack the Cog Hive 7 prison. Once his mercenaries secured the hangar bay, two Kell Dragons hauled a floating hollow projector of Jabba onto the station. Jabba attacked the prison as retaliation for the death of his spies and intended to watch the Kell Dragons slowly tear the warden apart. Kyle Katarn was intended to be the victim of Jabba's favorite dragon, but the mercenary was able to defeat the beast with his bare hands and two others. Upon escaping the dragon's den and retrieving his weapons, he proceeded to exterminate Jabba's entire complement of the beasts in search of the rebel agent Jan Ors. The Dark Jedi Jarek had one Kell Dragon in captivity at his private palace in the city of Baron's Head. Two of the creatures also lurked in the Valley of the Jedi ruins in Rusun, which was kind of a repeat here. All right, behind the scenes, what's the proper way to punch a Kell Dragon or two? First, punch them in the head, right in the nose. Jeff Koff gives players advice on how to deal with Kell Dragons. Kell Dragons were created as enemies in the 1995 PC game Jedi Dark Forces, or Star Wars Dark Forces, I should say. All right. PC Gamer magazine stated that these dragons were intended to be Krat dragons, which could have marked the first the Krat's first appearance, since Krat dragons were officially stated to be much larger for canon and gameplay reasons. The Dark Forces creatures were then renamed to Kell and deemed related to Krats. Some kinds of Krats were larger or were quite smaller than the other Kell dragons. All right. So with all of that, you know, whenever we get things from video games and we go back and forth, it's always interesting because sometimes things do get messed up because as we have other people trying to tell the stories, we do always get some unfortunate inconsistencies. All right, let's get on over to our D6 stats and go from there. All right, well, let's give a little shout out to D6 Holocron for saving my bacon here today. Apparently, I'm having problems with my computer and it does not want to bring up my um, Adobe Acrobat for the PDF files. So, all right, Kell Dragons, um, reptile, non-sentient, planet of origin. Now, this is noting the one on Rusan. We have a dexterity of 1D, perception of 1D plus 1. We have a search under perception for tracking as a 2D. Strength is a 12D plus 2. So that's going to give a lot of people a lot of headaches. Because then when we have our special abilities, we have strength plus 2D plus 2 for bite damage, and then strength plus 1D plus 2 for claw damage. So now you're talking about a bite being a 14 plus 4 and a claw attack of 13 plus 4. So kind of dangerous there. That's going to tear a lot of things up. Our movement speed is 15. Now, do keep in mind our galactic standard for most beings being able to move is going to be a 10. So it's going to be faster than your general galactic being, humans and what have you. So they're going to be able to outrun you. All right, size unlisted. It is considered colossal for character scale here. So this is going to be a very large being. Let's see. Now, this is also coming from the Power of the Jedi Sourcebook, page 156. But unfortunately, like I said, I couldn't get any of my PDFs to come up, which I normally go to. So now I'm just having issues. But thankfully, again, like I said, D6 Holocron being one of the great sources for all things Star Wars. RPGgamer.org, another great resource. Anything I find in there, I would easily just take it and port it over. If you're looking for some of this stuff, and another reason why I stay with the D6 is it is free. I love the fact that, I've got the books. I've had the books for many years. And I enjoy bringing the books out. The whole thing is if you're trying to get into a role-playing game, and I don't care if it's going to be science fiction, fantasy, modern, post-apocalyptic, whatever you have, we have the books to be able to do that, and it is all for free. So I'm not asking any money from you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I put all the stuff up as good as I can, and you guys let me know when I have issues or whatever, and we're going to try and figure things out. I will have to try and work on getting everything I have so far up as a Google Doc file and get it posted up for you guys, because I know that there are some of you out there that are looking for some of this stuff that I've got in my own creations. And we'll have to try and figure that out. I don't really do much with Google Docs, so I may have to have my daughters try and help teach me. I know I'm an old fogey for all that stuff. I didn't grow up with all that. So with that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.